It is a very nice day here in England, and I hope the day is going well where you are as well. Here we are. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. We are here once again. Yes, it is another English Addict coming to you live from the birthplace of English, which just happens to be, oh my goodness, it's England. Oh my goodness, again. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I hope you are feeling happy because today, well, I need your positivity today. I need your support because, well, it is the final day. It is the last day of February, but also it's the final day of Fabuary as well. So this is the final day of my 28 days of special live streams. I have been with you since the beginning of this month. And today is the final day because March is just around the corner, and yes, this is the final one. So everything is a little bit different today. I will tell you now that things are different. One thing in particular, we will be outside later on because the weather is so nice. I really can't resist showing you the weather and being out there. It seems almost like a crime being indoors. So I think it's wrong. Being in the house today, it's wrong. I should be outside, enjoying the nature. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go outside, and Mr. Steve will be joining me in the garden. I'm sure there will be lots of birds as well, joining in with the fun. So today we are reviewing some of the things we've looked at during this very unusual and, can I just say, busy. It has been a very busy month, definitely. I can't begin to tell you how busy I have been, non-stop. That's what we say when something has been going on and on without a break. This month for me has been non-stop. Lots of things going on, and today is no exception. English Addict, but also the final day of February as well. And can I say hello to everyone on the live chat? Thank you very much for joining me again. It's so nice to see you back where you belong. Very nice. In fact, yes, we have made it all the way to the end of another week, and sadly, we are at the end of our special month of live streams, and also we are at the end of the weekend, but there is still a little bit more of the weekend to enjoy. Yes, it's Sunday. How is your Sunday going? I hope it's going as well as mine, although I must be honest with you. I'm going to be honest, I'm not completely prepared today. So this is where we will be going later. Hopefully Mr. Steve will be joining us as well. So there it is in the garden. You can see there is a little pigeon sitting underneath the tree in the distance. So Mr. Steve and myself will be out here later on enjoying some of the lovely sunshine. I don't know what's happened over the past few days, but the weather has become so nice. I'm not complaining, please. Please don't get the wrong idea. I am not complaining about the weather. I'm just saying how lovely it happens to be at the moment. And we will be joining Mr. Pigeon a little bit later on outside when Mr. Steve joins us as well. I hope you are feeling super duper today because it is the end of a month. Sometimes when the month comes to an end, we like to think, we like to reflect on what has happened in the past, during the past 28 days, for example. By the way, there is something I have to do. If you were watching at the start of this month, you will know that I have been busily eating every day. I have been taking a little nibble from my final, last ever chocolate biscuit that I have in the house. And here it is, just to prove it. Here it is. This is the last piece of my chocolate biscuit. So today, because it's the final day of February, I suppose also I should be eating the final piece of my chocolate biscuit. So I started eating this at the beginning of the month, and the chocolate is already melting. And this is it. This is the final piece. I have kept this for the whole month. I have been taking little nibbles from this. So today it's the final piece. And yes, we will share this together. This is almost as exciting as Spot the White Van. It's almost as exciting. Here we go then. So this is the final piece of chocolate on a biscuit. The last piece that I have in the house. Oh. I will be honest with you. It has a very interesting texture, a very interesting taste. I think I may have just eaten a very stale piece of biscuit, but not to worry, it's show business. For those who've just tuned in and you don't know what this is, maybe you have clicked on my big smiling face. I'm Duncan. I'm on the internet, so don't panic too much. You know what the internet is like. The internet is full of all sorts of strange and wonderful things. So don't be too surprised if you find things like this on your screen from time to time. I want to say hello to the live chat because that's what I like to do, you see. Hello to the live chat. Oh, interesting. A very interesting situation today with the live chat. So who was first today on the live chat? Very interesting. Oh. Now, I was expecting Vitesse to be first. However, today, first on today's live chat, it is Kate Gann. Hello, Kate, and congratulations to you. You are first on today's live chat. I wonder when you woke up this morning, did you think to yourself, I wonder if Mr. Duncan is going to give me a round of applause for being first on the live stream? I wonder. Well, the answer to that question is yes, and I just did. Isn't it amazing? You never know what's going to happen next in this strange and wonderful thing called life. Hello, also Mosen. Flower Espoir is here as well. Valentin. Oh, we also have Luis Mendez is here today. Grace Chin. Also we have Fatih Zito. Hello to you. I love your name, by the way. It's very nice to say. Hello, Victoria, as well. Bluesbird is here. We also have Beatrice. We also have Liet Chris. I hope I pronounce your names right. Sometimes I know what you're going to say. Sometimes, Mr. Duncan, you pronounce our names incorrectly. If I ever do that, feel free to write to me and tell me that I'm making mistakes. I'm only human, after all. I'm only a human being. I can't be perfect all the time, to be honest with you. So if I do mispronounce your name sometimes, and it does happen quite often, please feel free to put me right. When you put someone right, if you put a person right, it means you are correcting them. You are putting them right. I am here to put you right. You have made some mistakes, so I am here to put you right. To put you on the right road, to give you some help and information. Hello, Rosa. Hello, also Sandra. Hello, also Lisa. Hello, Lisa. I don't recognise your name. Is it your first time here? Hello, Lisa. Where are you? Watching me now. Intelligent is here. Being with Mr. Duncan and Mr. Steve, everyone, at this time of year brings some very fond memories for me. Looking forward to an incredible time together again. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. I hope you have enjoyed this special 28 days of live streaming. I wanted to do something for this month because quite often, and I'm going to say this now, this is my own feeling that I'm expressing. I always think that the first 2 months of the year are a little bit depressing. Is it just my imagination? But is January and February depressing? Are they both depressing months? So what do you think? So one of the reasons why I decided to do this month, I wanted to do it because I wanted not only to cheer you up in case you were feeling gloomy, but I also wanted to cheer myself up, to be honest, because between you and me, I do not like the beginning of a new year because you have all of that excitement at the end of the previous year. You have Christmas and then you have the celebrations for the new year. Well, normally you do. And then, of course, you have January, which can be a very slow month. Everyone has to go back to work. We have to return to normality. And then we have this month, February, and I always think February is the worst month of the year. I always think it seems slow and dull. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to do my 28 days of February. Hello also to Marwa. Hey, Mr. Duncan, I can't say to you bye because I am used to listening to you every day. It is very hard to say farewell. Well, sadly, we are saying goodbye today to this month, and I've enjoyed the ride. To be honest, I have enjoyed it very much. Hello, Palmyra. Hello, Macdoken. Hello, I don't recognise your name. Macdokian. Very interesting name. What does it mean? Does it have some hidden meaning? Quite often when people go on the internet, they will give themselves a false name, a fake name. I suppose one of the actual words we could use is a pseudonym. If you give yourself a pseudonym or an alternative persona, you are creating a different name for yourself, quite often because you want to stay anonymous. So most people who go on the internet, I would say, this is not official, but I would say about 90% of all people on the internet stay anonymous. They don't want anyone to know who they are. And then you have a very small amount of people who share some information about themselves. And then you have a very small percent of the internet who like to show everything. They like to reveal themselves completely. They like to talk about their lives. They like to show their daily routines. So I think, yes, most people on the internet, I think it would be fair to say that most people who use the internet or go on the internet prefer to stay anonymous. One person who definitely doesn't want to stay anonymous is Mr. Steve. He is coming up a little bit later on, and it has been a very exciting month for Steve because he had his birthday. A wonderful day. And can I just say, you might not believe this, but you made Mr. Steve's birthday memorable forever. And he's still talking about it now, today. And yesterday, he talked about his birthday. He still thinks it was amazing that he had a chance to share his birthday, not only with me, but also with you as well. So he really did appreciate everything, not from my own point of view, but Steve's point of view. He was overwhelmed by the whole thing. So I think it's safe to say that Steve will never forget his 60th birthday. I don't think Steve will ever forget his 60th birthday ever. Hello to Jagdish. Hello, Jagdish Parab. I hope I pronounced your name right. Please, I hope. What is your birthday, sir? Do you mean my birthday? My birthday is on the 12th of August. So I still have a little longer to wait. So I still have to wait a little bit longer. I'm being distracted, by the way, because I just noticed Mr. Steve on my outdoor camera walking around. So if I seem distracted, it's just because I can see Steve walking around in the garden on my other camera. Intelligent. Yes, it looks like we are so tired of our ordinary lives or our ordinary selves that we create a virtual self with a pseudonym. It seems to be a fun endeavour. Well, one of the wonderful things about the internet is quite often you can create anything. So some people like to make movies. Some people like to make vlogs, a video log of their life. So quite often, and I think this is actually an interesting subject, people who come onto the internet and show themselves, I always think there is a little bit, just a little bit, of exaggeration. Some people say that about me. But I like to have fun. I like to be creative. I like to have a good time. And one of the reasons why I do this is because I want to share that feeling with you. And hopefully you will enjoy it as well. So my reason for doing this has always been the same. To share my love of English, to help you with your English, if you are learning English as a second language, and also to spread a little bit of fun. A smile can go a mile. That's what I always say. Hello to I still can't pronounce your name, so I'm going to call you Charlotte. Is that okay? Hello, Charlotte. Nice to see you back as well. Irene is here. It's okay. If you're late, it's all right. I realise that we all have things to do on Sundays. The weekend is often very busy for people around the world. So please don't worry about that. Do not fear. Maria. Hello to Maria. Maria. I'm saying hello to Maria. Maria says, in the last few days here the weather has been so lovely. This morning I enjoyed a nice walk along a river. Great. I think across Europe. So the European area, we are enjoying some very nice weather. I don't know why it's happening. Maybe it has something to do with global warming. I don't know, but I'm still enjoying it anyway. Hello to Tony Ghost Rider. Hello, Tony. And Tony is watching me from the shadow of the Etna volcano, Mount Etna. Have you seen the pictures? So last week, Mount Etna, a very active volcano. Apparently, it's the most active volcano in the world. So quite often it rumbles, it makes a little bit of a sound, and then now and again the smoke will come out. But at the moment it is very active. Lava, ash, smoke, and a lot of people are enjoying the sight. I'm not sure if I would, and this is one of the things I talked about during this 28 days of February. I did talk about this. I would not want to be near a volcano. I don't know why, but I'm sure if it is part of your normal daily life, then I suppose it doesn't mean much, or it doesn't worry you in any way. However, for me, I wouldn't want to do it. I would move as far away as possible. So I hope you are enjoying the sounds, the sights, and quite possibly the smell of Mount Etna. Pedro, oh hello, Pedro Belmont is here today. Apparently it is raining in Brazil at the moment. Heavy rain falling down. Jagdish, thank you so much, sir, for your videos. These videos help us in improving our English speaking. Well, not only that, but also it can help you to listen to English. It can also help you to improve your listening as well. So it isn't just about learning new words. It isn't about only listening to English being spoken. It's also about making an environment. You are creating an English environment. So you are sitting there and I am here, but we are connecting. We are connecting. We are creating our own English environment, which I think is always an important thing to do. And it can be very helpful. Hello, also Rockwater. Nice to see you here as well. We will be going outside soon. Mr. Steve and myself, we will be having a little dance in the garden because it's a beautiful day. I can't begin to tell you how nice it is outside. Just to give you a little taste. You might be able to hear the birds singing. So we are going outside in a few moments, and there is Mr. Steve. Hello, Steve. Mr. Steve is just getting used to being on camera. Can you see? I hope he didn't say anything rude then. So there you had your first glimpse of Mr. Steve. I was not expecting him to appear, to be honest, but there he was. That is where we are going soon. Ah, Marietta. Well done. I like that. I might steal that from you. It is not canned English. It is fresh English. I like that. So it isn't recorded English. This is live. It's fresh. It's a bit like going to the market to buy some vegetables or maybe some fish. So the fish is fresh. It is not in a can. I like that. I might steal that from you. I hope you don't mind. That is very good. Hello to Ghulam Abbas. Nice to see you here as well today. Can't be can be used as kana. Is that right? Yes. Quite often, certain words or phrases will be made shorter, abbreviated, Quite often, if a person is talking quickly, they will often change the pronunciation of certain words, and that is a good example. Can't. I canna. I canna see you tonight. I canna go out with you anymore because I don't like you. Don't ever say that, by the way. You'll have lots of trouble. Hello also to Amirali. Nice to see you back as well. I believe you have been here before also. What a lovely garden. Hello, Free Tech. Free Tech says, this is recorded live. Yes, I suppose that's one way of looking at it. So this is live because you can see the time up there. It is 25 minutes to 3 on Sunday. However, if you are watching the recording, then it isn't. I'm not going to do that again because the other day I got so confused. I didn't know what was going on. So I'm not saying that again. Oh, hello. Hello, Vitas. Vitas has arrived. Kate Gann was first today. So today, Kate Gann took your place as having a fast finger. That's what happened today. Palmyra says, I think Mr. Duncan does not use canna. I wanna. I canna. I shoulda. I shoulda loved you more. I canna see you tonight. I wanna hold you in my arms. Yes, so you can do that. Quite often, with this type of abbreviation, you will often find also that this relates quite often to accents as well. Accents. Some people call it lazy English. So I remember years ago my English teacher at school would always complain about people using lazy English. They would often abbreviate certain words or phrases. So my English teacher didn't like it, to be honest. She was very precise with her English teaching. Oh, can I say hello, Belarusia? I'm sorry, I feel as if I've ignored you. But hello, Belarusia, nice to see you here as well. We are going outside in a few moments. I hope you are looking forward to joining us outside. It is different today. So before anyone asks, I will tell you now that this is a little bit different today. Mr. Steve and myself will be in the garden because, as I said earlier, it seems like I'm committing a crime staying in the house when the weather is so nice. We are very lucky at the moment here in Europe because we are having some glorious weather, very unusual. I think there is a lot of high pressure hanging over not only Europe, but I suppose across the rest of this area as well. Mr. Duncan, if I listen to you, it seems to me that I understand and I speak English, but the truth is I am watching an English film. Probably the conversation is faster and more complicated. One of the common things that I am asked, and also one of the things that I'm often questioned about, is why sometimes you can understand me better than if you are watching a movie. Well, of course, movies quite often use dialogue as a part of action. So you have a certain rhythm or pace, but not everyone speaks quickly and not everyone speaks slowly. Everyone has their own method or their own pace or speed of speaking English. So it isn't true to say that everyone speaks quickly. Some people do. Some people speak very fast. In fact, some people speak too fast. Even I sometimes have difficulty understanding what people are saying if they speak too quickly. So it isn't about understanding the English language, it is just about being understood. So I always believe if you are going to say something, make sure you say it clearly so people can understand what you're saying, but also so there are no misunderstandings. Because sometimes when you say things, especially nowadays, it is possible to upset people. Maybe if they mishear what you've said, maybe they don't hear clearly, they might misunderstand what you're saying. So yes, I think you have to be careful. Not just what you are saying, but also how you say it as well. I have received a lovely gift. Oh my goodness. What is going on? One of my smiley faces is falling off my head. Well, that's annoying. I'm not sure if I can actually put up with that. That is going to really annoy me. Oh, what a shame. One of my smiley faces fell off. There we go. I'll put it there. Can you see it? Where was I? I've received a lovely gift. Can I say thank you very much to Sora Hamarsha? Sora has sent me the most amazing painting. I don't think I've ever had a painting done. I've had different sketches with pencil. I've had all sorts of different things made for me showing my face. But I think this might be the first time that I've ever had a painting sent to me. I remember when I first started doing my live streams, I did have a caricature sent to me. But this is very nice. So thank you very much to Sora Hamarsha for this painting. And there it is. I think it's very good. I think you have captured my face rather well. And of course, you might notice also there is my beard as well. My beard. So that is one of the big things that happened during this month. One of the things that happened this month was my beard disappeared. I decided to shave my beard off. So thank you very much to Sora Hamarsha for your wonderful painting. I don't think I've ever had a painting done of my face before, so thank you. It's very flattering. I look slightly confused. Yes. I do that sometimes. Sometimes if I'm confused by something, or perhaps Mr. Steve says something that I don't understand, which happens quite often, that is the face. I think so. That is the face that I will have. My expression of confusion. Thank you very much for that. That's great. If you want to send a picture, if you want to draw a picture, paint a picture, you are more than welcome to do so. I remember the first time I saw someone who had decided to paint or draw a picture. I think it was actually a sketch with pencil. And I was a bit shocked. It's very strange when you see how other people observe you. It's very strange when you see what another person sees when they see you. Because quite often an artist will draw what they see and what they perceive. Anyway, we are going to have a little break because we are going to take a look at one of my lessons, which will give me a good opportunity to prepare myself because we are going outside. Mr. Steve will be joining us in the garden and we are going to have some fun in the sun. Here is an excerpt from one of my full English lessons. Please enjoy this, and then I will be live outside in a few moments with Mr. Steve. Please don't Go away. Stay exactly where you are.
Oh, hello there. Here we are again with another full English lesson, coming to you from the birthplace of all these people. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of people. And of course, this is also the place where the English language was created. That is, of course, England. So many words, so many phrases. And I hear you ask, where is the best place to learn all of those words and phrases? Right here on my YouTube channel is my reply. So stand by, because another full English lesson is going to start right now. I often receive questions and comments from my students concerning the process of learning English, for which I'm always happy to receive and, where possible, answer. One such question concerns the action of repeating things during the learning process. A common criticism is the tediousness of repetition. The hard fact is that repeating things is a large part of learning anything, whatever it happens to be. The action of repeating something is there. A baby must learn to walk by trying the same action again and again. A learner driver must undergo many training hours before getting it right. This also involves a great deal of repetition. So what about English? Is it really necessary to keep repeating words and phrases over and over? The answer to that question is yes. The most obvious benefit of repeating things comes when you want to get a new word or phrase to stay in here. Repeating things again and again will literally create new stored information in your brain. Yes, it might seem boring, and yes, it will take time to accomplish, but in the long run you will learn to appreciate the power of repetition. Whilst we are on the subject of repeating things, it is also worth mentioning that you need to get into the habit of learning new words and phrases every day. Don't shy away from absorbing new information. The secret is not to push yourself too far. A little learned every day will lead to a lot gained each month. As I always say, the important rules of learning English rely on the most basic actions. Read, listen, repeat, learn. There it is again, that magic word. Repeat. 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 Here is something I haven't talked about for a very long time. The subject of opposite words is both fascinating and quite often confusing. A good example is the opposite of bend. As a verb, the opposite word is in fact straighten. Then there is the action of clearing a misunderstanding, which is also straighten. You can straighten something out with another person. A conversation that allows those involved to better understand each other's feelings is to straighten things out. We need to talk about what happened last night and straighten things out. To distort or twist an event to make it seem different is to bend the truth. You can bend the rules, which means to do something illegal but not serious, that goes against a law or set of instructions. You are not supposed to be in here, but I'm willing to bend the rules this time. As adjectives, bent and straight refer to being either good or bad. A bent person is one involved in criminal activity. A straight person is law-abiding and a good citizen. An object that has been distorted out of shape has been bent. The action of doing this is bend. A car accident can be described as a fender bender. This expresses the condition of a car after it has been damaged. Then, as I said at the start of this subject, we have the opposite of bend, which is straighten. To make something level or without distortion is to straighten. Are you still confused? I hope that I have been able to straighten out the confusion here, so you won't be bent double trying to understand it, as I always try my best to be straight with you. Well, it looks as if we have come to the end of another full English lesson, but wait there. Apparently, we still have a few moments left, so to fill that time, here is a short poem. Isn't it strange the way people change from day to day? Isn't it queer whenever you hear the silly things people say? Isn't it sad when you hear something bad, it makes you want to cry? But despite what you hear, one thing is quite clear, to keep you from going mad. Say to yourself, I am what I am, whatever they say or do. My life is mine, and whatever they say, I won't give a damn. Okay, that is definitely all we have time for today. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button and activate the notifications bell so you won't miss another one of my English lessons, be they live or recorded.
There it was. One of my full English lessons, and of course, there are many lessons on my YouTube channel. Beep, 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 beep. So here we are then. It is Sunday afternoon. I'm in the studio, but for not much longer I will be joining Mr. Steve outside. Talking of which... Here he is. Let's have a little look. Mr. Steve is waiting patiently outside, so I'm going to say hello. I can hear you, Mr. Steve.
Near the window. Hello, everybody. It's a glorious spring-like Sunday afternoon here in the UK. And I'm very pleased to be able to join you here today with Mr. Duncan, who I have no doubt at this very minute is walking through the house, through the door, and he's going to join me very shortly. Are you, Mr. Duncan, or are you still in the studio?
I'm on my way, Steve.
He's on his way. Well, I've picked up a few things from the live chat, Mr. Duncan. One is, I don't know whether you covered this already, how to pronounce I dunno, or I dunno, I don't know, I dunno, I dunno. That's how you would normally use it. And that's a sort of a slang way of saying I don't know. I mean, we would never say that here. Mr. Duncan and I would never say, I don't know. Well, we might, but probably unlikely. I don't know would be the correct way to pronounce it. But of course, I don't know is fine. Also, would you use I wanna or I want to, says Amarilli. I want to go into the garden. I want to go shopping. Or I want to go shopping. I want to go into the garden. Well, I wanna is a sort of an American form of I want to. So we probably wouldn't say that in the UK. We'd probably say I want to. we probably wouldn't shorten that. Am I correct, Mr. Duncan? Oh, I don't know where Mr. Duncan's vanished. Somebody else said, what is the COVID situation in the UK? I'll have to get that in quickly before Mr. Duncan comes in. That was Farid. It's getting better, like it is everywhere. So lots of positive news. We're looking forward to the summer. We can all go. All the shops, all the pubs, clubs, everywhere is going to be open, hopefully, by the end of June. And then we can go nuts. And, Mr. Duncan.
It's okay, Steve.
Are we going to go nuts, Mr. Duncan?
We are definitely going to go nuts. I would imagine at this moment the neighbours are thinking that we've gone nuts.
Well, they've thought that for years. Oh, watch your back, says Tomek. Oh, was that you sneaking up on me? I didn't see that.
It probably was.
Something that Mr. Duncan is concerned about at this time of the year, coming outside, of course, is that all the neighbours will, I have to say this quietly.
How is that possible? Wait there. It's been quiet here all
that's
day.
What I was about to say.
It's been quiet here.
Explain.
It's been quiet here, but the moment I come outside, somebody starts up there.
Calm down,
noisy.
Calm down, Mr. Duncan. You know, that's what I was about to say. Mr. Duncan's always worried about environmental factors, environmental influences.
Noise.
Such as noise.
Noise.
Well, anyway, we're causing noise by talking.
Well, we're not. But this is natural noise.
Well, I think we're talking more loudly than we otherwise would be.
Well, you are.
I am, yes, because I'm excited to be live in front of all your millions of loyal viewers.
Okay then, Steve. I'm not sure if this is a conversation.
Ciao, says Saturino. Ciao to you too.
Hello, Saturino. Yes, we are in the garden. I suppose I should explain what's going on because maybe some people have no idea what we're doing at the moment. We are outside live and it's a beautiful day. I don't know how it's happened, but we have had some of the most amazing weather over the past few days. The most amazing weather has been around and I couldn't resist coming out today. So yesterday I was outside, but apparently it was too sunny yesterday. There was too much sunshine. So today I've made sure that we are in the shade today, especially with Mr. Steve's very sensitive skin. You see, he's very sensitive to light. He's like a vampire.
That's true. Well, of course, I have explained many times. People have asked me, how, Mr. Duncan, how, Mr. Steve, do you look so young and beautiful for your age? Your skin is perfect. And that is, of course, I have often explained because I stay away from sunlight.
Okay.
Like a vampire, as you say.
Can you move over slightly? Because
yes,
I'm sort of scrunched
Which
up.
way? This way?
Well, that
way. Oh, I see.
See, that's why we have that in front of us.
Well, you're the technical wizard, not me,
Yes,
Mr.
but you
Duncan.
can see where you are.
Well, I'm not concentrating on that. It's up to you to move me around the set.
But when I do that, you complain. So here we are then. We're in the garden and Mr. Steve and myself are here. And it's a sad day. Yes, I don't want to be too miserable. Unlike Mr. Steve, I want to be happy. So this is the final day of our 28 days of February. It's the final day. And we've been here for the whole month. Well, I have. Mr. Steve has been here on Sunday. But I suppose a lot of people are asking what is going to happen next. So when March comes along, which it will tomorrow, what is going to happen? Well, first of all, I won't be here tomorrow because it's March and our special month of live streams comes to an end. Anything on the live chat, Steve?
Edit says the birds are louder. Well, we can outdo anybody when it comes to the noise situation, Mr. Duncan.
Can we?
Yes, exactly. We can just talk very loudly, and I always annoy Mr. Duncan by talking too loudly. But yes, so what are you going to do? Have you got any plans for March, Mr. Duncan?
I'm just about to. I'm teasing, you see. So I don't like to give too much away. This is what you do nowadays. You don't give all of your information away in one go, or else what's the point? So I'm teasing you. So I won't be here tomorrow. But I am going to take a little break next week because I've been doing this every day. My voice, by the way, has really suffered. I've had so many problems with my voice and my throat. So that's the first thing I'm doing. I'm going to give my voice a little bit of a rest because it's becoming quite, what's the word? Quite sore.
Strained.
Strained. And sore. I'm sure you know all about this, Steve, with your singing.
Oh, of course.
You see, with your singing.
You have to look after your vocal apparatus.
Especially if it's your means of work, or maybe something you do to entertain or inform or educate, like I do. Very nice.
Yes, it's very... I'm going to have to look after you, Mr. Duncan. I'm going to have to tend to your every need while you recover from the strain of doing live streams every day during February.
Can I ask you something? Why do you have a coronavirus mask in your pocket?
This.
Is this from yesterday?
Well,
now, Mr. Steve, can I just tell you something? We do like to share our experiences together, and it's very nice, Steve. Very good. It's an improvement, to be honest. It's a big improvement. But yes, Mr. Steve yesterday went into town, but it would appear that lots of people now have just stopped observing all of the rules of lockdown.
A few people were asking about that. Farid asked about it, and somebody else asked about it as well, about what the... Yes, Chinthana has asked as well. Well, we've been told that at the end of June, everything's back to normal. Everything's open, we're back to normal. But as I discovered, of course, we were told this last week, weren't we, Mr. Duncan? And obviously, people think that we're going back to normal already, because I was in the shops yesterday and half the people didn't even have their masks on, coughing everywhere. They seem to think that because the sun's out and they know we're going to be back to normal at the end of June, that suddenly they can just get back to normal now.
But they do realise it's only the end of February. It's a long way till the end of June, because apparently it's the 21st of June things are going to start getting back to normal. But I think people think, or they think already, that everything is back to normal now, but it isn't. There are still restrictions, but yesterday you were quite alarmed.
I was alarmed. Instead of keeping 2 meters away, there was a family in front of me in the shop, and there were the 2 meter markings that you have in the shops to give you a guide as to how far you should be away from somebody. But I kept 4 meters away because I could see this family just blatantly talking, laughing, coughing with no masks on, and I thought, how disrespectful.
Yeah. Well, if you're in a shop, this is the rule. It's still in place. This is still the rule that's being enforced. If you enforce a law, it means you are telling people that they must do that. They have to do it. They have no choice.
Yes, exactly, Ivars. It is mandatory to wear a mask in the shops. And I went into a few shops, and there were quite a few people in there that suddenly obviously decided not to wear masks anymore. And I asked the shopkeepers, what do you do? And they said, we don't do anything.
No.
If somebody comes in without a mask on.
Well, there isn't much you can do, because if you are working in a shop and then somebody comes in without a mask, and maybe they are, I don't know, maybe they look a little bit aggressive, maybe. What are you supposed to do? You're not going to tell someone to put a mask on. And also, one of the interesting things that I noticed yesterday, I did point this out, didn't I? I think one of the things about this area is it's a small community. So people don't want to upset other people. They don't want to ask them to put a mask on, because that person might not come back to their shop ever again.
Yes.
So because we live in a very small community, Much Wenlock is a small area. Everyone knows each other. Everyone knows us. They all see us in the street. and they normally run in the opposite direction.
Yes, and there have been quite a few incidents where shopkeepers have challenged people without masks on. And of course, the type of people who are willing to blatantly not wear a mask are the sorts of people who are likely to react very strongly if you make if you say to them, why aren't you wearing a mask? And of course there have been incidents, fights. Don't you tell don't you tell me to wear a mask, get off, swearing.
There have been violent reactions
because the sort of people who don't wear masks are the sort of people who are often trying to attract attention. They want you to challenge them, and then so that they can react and come out with some ludicrous conspiracy theory. So shopkeepers have been told, for their own safety, not to react, because people have reacted and then they've been spat on. People have gone up to them aggressively, and then you're being exposed. So it's very few, but I saw some yesterday. I wanted to say something. I was getting so angry inside, Mr. Duncan.
I wasn't with Steve because I was here doing this yesterday, but Steve came back. He said, I was so angry in the shop because people were just ignoring all of the rules. And yes, there is a vaccine. There are vaccines being given, but it doesn't mean that things are back to normal. We are still a long way from that, and things could change. So the government could change their mind and say, no, everything has to stay closed. So I think just being safe. Sometimes you have to be cautious.
Intelligence says in Kiev, in the Ukraine, you will get shamed if you don't wear a mask in a shop.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. You see, there's no shame in this country anymore.
Yeah.
People don't feel shame anymore. They used to. But yes, that's that's public pressure, shaming people into complying with rules and regulations that are there to protect everybody.
Yes.
Because we're not out of it yet, even though the weather's nice.
No. Well, the weather has nothing to do with it.
I know. Well, that's what I mean. People think.
Yes. Oh, yes. I'm not telling you that. I'm just saying. Yes. People think because the weather is getting nice, everything is getting better. But of course, there are countries that are hot all the time, and they're having the same problem. So the weather, the sun, has nothing to do with it.
Edith says, Edith, I think, says. I'm pronouncing people's names incorrectly, by the way.
Yes, I do it all the time.
Chinthana, have I pronounced that correctly? Chinthana, is that better?
Yes.
And Edith, I think. My hope.
Edith Goulet.
Yes. Is it Edith or Edith? Please tell us. My biggest hope is that I could fly to my daughter and my granddaughters in Sydney at the end of summer. I think the travel industry is going to take off when the lockdowns all stop, because people are desperate to get out and have a holiday. I think a lot of people are. Are we going to have a holiday, Mr. Duncan?
I don't think so.
May we perhaps go to Wales?
I don't think there is much chance of us having a holiday because, well, everything's closed, basically. You can't even go to a hotel. Most hotels are still closed. So it just depends, I suppose. It just depends what's... We don't know. That's the problem. Nobody knows. That's the real truth. We keep talking about what's true and what isn't. I think the real truth is people don't really know what's going to happen next. And we have our budget coming up soon. So that's when one of the leaders in the government that rules this country at the moment, they stand up and they say, what are the spending plans? Can I just say, forget all that. Forget it. We're all deep in debt. And in the United States, the Senate has just allowed, and this is an incredible amount of money, 1.9 trillion.
Has that gone through, Mr. Duncan?
It's gone through. It went through yesterday.
Wow.
1.9 trillion. That is like 4 World War IIs. So the cost of World War II, it's almost that's almost what it is, 4 World War IIs. If you had World War II 4 times. It would cost that. And the other thing that I don't know, Steve, or I don't understand is why not just make it 2 trillion?
I know.
Just say 2 trillion.
Yes.
Why is it 1.9?
Is it a bit like when you go to the shops, Mr. Duncan,
Yeah.
and something's expensive and it's sort of, they always put 99 at the end, like 199.
Yes.
So it doesn't seem like it's quite so expensive.
Yes.
So 1.9 probably psychologically doesn't seem as expensive as 2 trillion,
Yes.
even though it's very close.
Because you can still see the number 1.
Yes.
So it looks like it's just 1. But in fact, it's almost 2. But I don't know why. Just make it 2 trillion. You're so close.
Yes.
You're so close to it.
Let's have the extra 100 billion.
Yes, just do it.
Well, of course, there's a lot of controversy about all this printing money, isn't there, Mr. Duncan?
Is there?
Yes, because it tends to get funneled through just to the richest in society,
Okay, anyway.
because they will use that to put money into the stock
This-
market and make more money.
This is not why we're here.
But
by the way.
will that money end
Yeah.
up
Steve?
in the
Yeah.
most deprived in society in
No.
America, or will it end up in the pockets of rich people?
Yeah, I can answer that. It will not end up in the pockets of the deprived. It will deprived or depraved.
Deprived. They may be depraved, but
But yes, most of it will just go off into other directions. But we're not here to do that. We're not that kind of channel.
of course, what we're expecting over the next few years is massive tax hikes
Yes.
or tax increases.
Well, the tax is definitely going to go up because we have a massive bill. It's costing maybe 1 or 2 trillion here in this country just to keep everyone paid. So we've been giving money to people, giving money to them because they haven't been working.
I think we've borrowed, I think I saw 300 billion.
300 billion. So that doesn't sound like a lot when you compare it to 2 trillion in the United States, but it still is a lot of money. It's still a lot of money. We used to talk about millions, didn't we, years ago? It used to
Yes.
always be millions. And millions always sounded a lot. But then we started talking billions, and now that is all we do. Instead of talking with millions, we talk with billions. And now it's trillions. It blows your mind. It really does.
Well, when people talk about millionaires, don't they? People who have got £1 million or $1 million. It used to be, because of inflation over the years, when we grew up, if someone was a millionaire, they were really rich. But now, 30 years later, if you put inflation at 5% a year or
Yes.
something on top of that, £1 million now
Anyway.
is worth a lot less than it was 10 years
Okay.
ago, 30 years
Yeah.
ago.
No one is interested in this, by the way.
Why not?
What they are interested in are the 2 pigeons behind me that are about to make love. And they're really...
Disgusting.
No, they're doing it.
Well.
I can't believe it. We just had... Did you see that live? We had a couple of pigeons behind us and they were making love live.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
How dare you?
Okay.
On a live stream to the whole world. There was live sex on our show, Mr. Duncan.
Yes, there
That-
was.
I can't believe
Oh,
it.
well, that's my ads gone. I can't believe that was just happening. I just noticed. I was looking at the screen, and they were preparing to make love, and they did, right behind us, with us here.
Has that ever happened before on anyone's live stream?
Has anyone ever had pigeons making love behind them on their live stream?
This will go viral, Mr. Duncan.
I don't think so.
The ad revenue you're going to get from this
Oh,
will
okay,
just go
Steve.
through the
Steve.
roof.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, not now.
No.
How dare you,
Okay.
said Zudzika.
I can't believe that. I can't believe we just had a live...
Mr. Bruno says the live stream just became 18 plus rated.
Yes, I'm going to lose my ads now.
Triple X.
All of my adverts will go because of that. They'll think it's some sort of strange animal sex show.
Well, there's no doubting that we're live because there's no way we could have arranged that.
No, we could not arrange that.
Did you talk to those pigeons earlier on and said at around sort of 3 o'clock, can you two pigeons hop onto that fence and have sex?
No, I don't think that was planned.
Are they trained pigeons?
Yes. All I can say now is over the next few days they will be busy building their nest somewhere around here. Well, that was interesting.
Intelligent. That's a very good name, by the way. It's Lilia. Intelligent is Lilia. Who used to be on before.
I think it is, isn't it?
It's Lilia.
Yes, it's Lilia.
I'm an English teacher and psychologist. Well, what do you make of those pigeons
What do you make of them?
behind us? Yes, what do you think of the... what's the psychology behind those
Well,
pigeons?
they're just doing what comes naturally. To them, it's just another day of being a pigeon.
Valentin says they've just been kissing. What are you talking about? Well, have a look back and you'll notice that they were doing something. They were going beyond kissing.
They were doing more than kissing.
They were, yes. Can you blur them, says Chinthana. My children are watching the live stream.
Yes, that is the problem. Because of these stupid pigeons, I might get banned from YouTube for showing explicit things on my stream. And I didn't mean it. They started it, not me. It's nothing to do with me.
Well, you can tell spring's on the way, can't you?
Yes, definitely.
They'll be nesting soon.
Well, they were certainly springing.
Have they flown off?
They've gone now.
Did one of them smoke a cigarette afterwards?
They've gone for a lie down. They've gone for a sleep.
Do male pigeons smoke cigarettes after having sex?
I don't know. How are they going to hold the cigarette? They don't have hands.
Well, in their wings
Okay, Steve.
or their beaks.
That is just silly, isn't it? Really, when you think about
Hiroko's
it.
going, so goodbye to Hiroko.
Hiroko's going. I'm not surprised. She's probably offended by the gratuitous mating, the copulation that was taking place. Oh, by the way, we should be talking about English, by the way. All we've been talking about is nothing. So let's talk about something. I've received a question asking about a certain word. Mr. Duncan, can you please explain the word stereotype? Stereotype. So there it is. There is the word stereotype. I hope you can see it. Beep, 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 beep. The word stereotype is often used when we are putting a person into a certain category or group. We are judging someone. Maybe you are judging someone quite often unfairly for maybe their appearance, or maybe the things they believe in, or maybe, I don't know, their sexuality, like those two pigeons back there. Perhaps someone will be stereotyping those pigeons as being always wanting to have fun. Who knows? Another word we can use is typecast. Typecast. So to stereotype is to take maybe a person or a group and you will make assumptions, you will assume things about them based on their appearance, maybe their race, maybe their sexuality, maybe their behaviour. And that is what we call stereotyping. You are stereotyping someone. You take a person and you say, because they look like that, I am going to assume that they do those things. But quite often, stereotyping is often, well, it's often wrong, to be honest.
Yes, it's best not to assume. Sometimes, though, just looking at somebody, you can get a clear idea of what they're like, but it's best not to do that, probably. What does this mean, Mr. Duncan? Bruno Home Life says, have you ever played RPG?
Those are role-playing games.
Oh, right.
Role-playing games. Now, as I understand it, that is to do with computer games. So quite often, you often see people in groups playing computer games, and so they will join either as teams or they will all be playing in the same computer game. And so that is something that happens. I don't play computer games. You might be surprised to find out that I don't play computer games. Mr. Steve doesn't either. So
I'm too old.
We don't play computer games, but RPG is a type of computer game where people join in. They all join in, and quite often you will have a character on screen. And I was talking about this earlier. I was talking about people who come onto the internet and they create their own personality, or maybe an alternative persona. And I think computer games are a little bit like that. So you create your own character. It isn't you, but it is you who is controlling the character. Am I right?
Ivars says, or Ivars, are you cold standing there only in your jumper?
Yes, I am freezing cold, but
Your hands are going blue.
I know, my hands are starting to change colour.
Well, I feel cold and I've got a...
You've got a what, Steve?
I always sneeze around this time, don't I?
What happens to Steve? He sneezes a lot these days.
I'm always sneezing. I don't know why. There was a bumblebee
Okay.
who just went by.
Oh, okay.
That's the first bumblebee of... Well, we're not even in spring yet, are we?
No.
When does spring officially start in the UK?
It's normally March, end of March, isn't it? Or maybe even early April.
Yes, I'm not sure, but the bumblebees are coming out because there are certain bushes that already have flowers, like the heathers, for example,
Yes.
are out in flower. We've got the snowdrops, and we've got little crocuses. So there is some pollen and some nectar there for any bees that are coming out of hibernation.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they love the heather, don't they? They love the flowers on the heathers. The
Yes. In
bees.
fact, I was asked the other day about the purple flowers because I was around the corner in another part of the garden, and a lot of people asked, "What are those purple flowers?" Those purple flowers that you saw the other day are actually heather, and they are all coming out now.
Thank you for the bless me's. Did you give me a bless me, Mr. Duncan?
I did not.
No, you never do. Actually, you do sometimes.
I do sometimes.
I'm interested only in money, says Rockwater.
That's all right.
Please tell us how to make it.
If you are interested in money and that is all you want from life and that is all you are interested in, fine, no problem.
If you make lots of it, please promise that you will give us some.
Yes.
I need about £50,000
Okay then.
in order to buy you-know-what.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is going to give you £50,000.
They might do, you never know.
No, I don't think that's going to happen, Steve.
What is it that I want? You know, don't you? Please put it on the live chat because I don't want to annoy Mr. Duncan
Okay, Steve.
by mentioning it.
Okay. We're not talking about English much today, are we? Have you noticed? Oh, yesterday, by the way, I was talking about television yesterday. And something we've noticed over the past 2 or 3 years is if you watch television after 9 o'clock at night, you can see some very strange things, unusual things, even things that might be seen as, I don't know, unacceptable.
Offensive.
Yes, offensive maybe, yes, but things that are maybe shocking, something you didn't expect to see. And I was talking about that one show where everyone is naked.
Naked Attraction.
That's
called.
That's the name of the show.
We've got a show in the UK.
Well, we haven't. We haven't got it.
There is a show in the UK, and you can just be flicking around the channel.
Yes.
Innocently flicking around, and then suddenly there's, 8 vaginas.
No,
Or 8 penises suddenly
no,
come.
Steve.
What's the matter?
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, suddenly they're on the screen for you to look at. All right, let's say...
No, don't say anything.
No, let's say
No, don't.
reproductive
Steve,
organs.
it's
I
a
can
bit
say
late
that,
now.
can't I?
Oh my God.
Calm down, Mr. Duncan, calm down. It's a word in the vocabulary of English.
Yes, it is. But it's probably not a word that we use on YouTube.
Calm down, Mr. Duncan. I'm sure it's been used before. But suddenly, do you have that in your country where you could just switch on the television set and there's 10 naked people? I tell you, I want to throw up. Because
Do you?
let's face it,
Well,
they're never attractive.
I don't feel like throwing up. I'm just shocked. You know, you don't expect to see naked people on your television, so I'm not outraged.
But it's not just, it's full length.
Yes, everything. Yes, everything. We get that, Steve. You made that very clear in those words.
Just pick around the... oh my God. Ooh, ooh.
You just don't expect to see lady
No.
parts and gentleman parts on your television when you are flicking through the channels. You don't expect to see that.
Yes, Vittoria, you are correct. And the other one is that people... there's a show where there's a doctor,
Okay.
and it's called Embarrassing Bodies.
Yes. Well, it's where people go to they go to a doctor, and this is all on television, but they have all of these embarrassing problems. Maybe they have a strange growth on maybe down there. You see, somewhere down there they have something that's weird or strange, and so they show it to the doctor. But not only do they show it to the doctor, they also show it to the viewers as well. We are able to see their grotesque thing that is hanging from their body. Why do they do that? It's terrible, especially when you're flicking around. You're just going around the channels looking for something nice to watch. And then suddenly you see Mr. Johnson's giant boil that's growing out of his butt.
Or there's something wrong with somebody's breasts, or and the thing is that you said before is that they're not anonymous,
Yeah.
the people.
Yes, they show their faces and everything.
Oh,
So
doctor, I've got this wrong with me.
I
Have a
can't
look.
believe. How could you do that?
How could you go to work after that?
How can you go to work the next day? You go to work and everyone has seen your swollen bumhole.
Mr. Duncan, that's disgusting. But they do, they show all sorts of... I mean, how could you go onto television, millions of people, and say, I've got this wrong with me, doctor, and it's something disgusting and revolting that you would never tell anyone, and then go to work the next day,
Yeah,
and forever people have just got that image of you, that
Yeah.
part of your anatomy
yeah.
that looks horrible.
They've seen a part of your body that they've never seen and probably wouldn't want to see, but now they've seen it. How do you face these people? How do you face your work colleagues after doing that? I couldn't do it. I really couldn't. I have enough problems showing my face. I mean, this is almost something that I'm ashamed of, but I have to expose it and show you, for which I apologise.
But we'd never show anything else.
Well, no, of course not. Well, you can't. It's YouTube.
Oh, yes. Intelligence says I've got more confident about my body since watching these programs.
Ah.
Yes, because you think, well, sometimes you tend to criticise yourself, don't you? You look in the mirror and think, oh, that's wrong with me, this is wrong with me.
I do.
And then you see people on television exposing things and so, yes, it can make you feel better about yourself because you think, well, at least I haven't got that wrong with me. So, yes. Try not to reduce Mr. Duncan's food, says Berlin for you.
No, try to.
Try to reduce the...
I think a lot of people are concerned about my body for my weight, but I don't know why. I'm not getting fat. This is lovely. This is slim. This is not fat. And those shows you see on TV, quite often the people on them are really, really, really big people. And there is another TV show, My 600 Pound Life. Have you seen that? People that are so huge, they can't actually get through their door. They can't get out of the house. They are so large. And then when they have to go to the hospital, they have to have a large crane that comes and then lifts them out of the window. That's their only way of getting out of the house, is through a window on the end of a crane.
And you let the whole world see you. That's what I don't understand. But, yes, they must be making money from it.
It's a bit, well, I think they get paid for it. You're not going to do that.
Yes.
What, you think they're doing it for free? I don't think so.
Well,
No,
I don't-
They get paid a lot of money for doing that.
Do they?
Yes, maybe we should. Maybe we should do it. Maybe I should go on
find out.
TV and show my my sexy body.
Would you do anything for money, Mr. Duncan? I mean, now, in the past.
would
obviously.
Would I do anything for money?
What would be the limits? Maybe we ought to explore that another time.
Yes. Maybe when we're not on the live stream.
Olga said there was a program about the old song of the Crazy Frog, which was popular ages ago, and the frog's man parts were deleted.
A frog.
Has a frog got man parts?
Well, a male frog might.
I thought they were sort of...
I've
I'm
never-
not sure about frogs.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've never looked very closely at a frog's parts or bits, to be honest. I've never looked very closely. I will next time I see a frog. I will lift him up and I'll have a really good look. Ooh.
Yes, Intelligent says, do you think it's acceptable to comment on other people's bodies? Many of my clients have experienced severe trauma due to body shaming that they are struggling with. Well, that's the thing. And some people, they go on television and expose themselves. Well, maybe they're quite strong emotionally, I don't know, but
Yes.
maybe afterwards
I
they
think-
don't realise the effect it's going to have on their lives.
No, money is what it's about.
So they go for the money, they tell everybody, and then every time they're seen at work, in the street, on the internet, they might get abused.
Yes.
And then that will have a deep psychological harm.
Yes. People want to watch this. They want to watch it because they want to feel better about themselves. So the viewers at home are watching people with serious problems or deformities to make them feel better. So when you watch it afterwards, you go, oh, I thought I was really ugly, but I've realised now that I'm not. I'm not very ugly because there are other people who are worse than me. So I think that it is a psychological thing. But the reason why people do it, money. They do it because they get paid to do it.
So what is the price they pay psychologically
Yes, well, this is it.
for doing that?
Yes.
Lewis says, last summer, I was walking along the west coast of France and suddenly came across a nudist beach.
Oh.
I can't believe, Lewis, that you didn't expect in France, in a beach somewhere, to see nudes. Because I don't know how many beaches in France naked bathing is allowed, but we assume in the UK that it's allowed on any beach in France.
I
I don't
don't-
think it is, but
I
we
don't-
assume
I-
that it is.
I don't assume that.
I think, Lewis, I don't think it was an accident at
No.
all.
I think Lewis was looking for the naked beach.
He yes. Well, we're joking, of course. But were you with your wife at the time? That's what we want to know.
He had his map in his hand, looking for it. He was trying to find it.
and there was a,
there was a big X on the map where the nudist beach. We
Yes,
have them here, by the way. In the UK, we have nudist beaches.
Do we?
Well, yes, we have one in Brighton on the south coast. There are lots of other ones. I think there's a couple in Wales. Do you remember when we went to one? We went to a nudist beach once.
remember that.
We went to a nudist beach, but we didn't stay very long. We didn't stay very
Oh
long.
yes, I remember. I was too shy.
Yeah, Steve was shy because of his disfigurements.
Well, I didn't want to embarrass all the other men.
Can I just
make
say-
them feel inadequate?
If there are any TV makers or TV producers out there, if you want to make a really graphic show about people's strange parts, Mr. Steve, you want to do one about him, pay him as much as you want. Maybe you can give him a free Ford Mustang and he'll show all of his strange
Well, there's a good question.
shaped parts.
Would I be prepared to show my alleged strange parts, alleged, for a brand new Ford Mustang? That's a good. Would that be my price?
I don't know.
Is that would I be prepared to do it for £50,000?
Yeah. All I
don't know.
would say is you would have to make sure the windows were actually sort of that they had black shading on them, so they could never see your face because you would not be able to go anywhere again.
Intelligence says watching people in humiliating situations is the modern version of gladiator fights.
Yes.
And in circuses years ago
Yeah.
in this country, you would see people with disfigurements and they'd be in cages and they'd be there for people to go and see in the circus.
Yes, like a freak show.
A freak show, we used to have that. So it's the modern equivalent of that.
Yes. So I would actually,
I agree.
I would be more willing to say that it is similar to the Victorian freak shows that they used to have, especially around London. You would see lots of people setting up their shows, and it would be someone with some disfigurement, and they would show them off and make money from them. So I think it is the modern equivalent of the circus sideshow or a freak show. I'm not saying the people on the TV show are freaks. I'm not saying that. Please don't put words into my mouth. But I think it is the modern equivalent of something that people like to watch. Other people suffering for entertainment.
You can always switch vote with your remote control, says Tomic. Then yes, you can cover your eyes. Of course, I've got no objection to nudist beaches, but I just think that there shouldn't be anybody there over the age of 18, because a lot of people who go on to nudist beaches, expose body. Well, I suppose beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
So that's great. Steve was just about to start criticising people for looking ugly.
No, I was about to say. Well, to me,
yes,
certain body shapes.
Yes.
Wouldn't look attractive, but to other people they are. So
yes, that's it.
I'm not criticising.
No.
But you will never see me naked on a beach, Mr. Duncan.
No, never.
Well, no. Even with my perfectly preserved body.
Preserved. Yeah. That's one way of putting it. It's definitely been preserved.
Oh, one thing, it's getting cold out here, Mr. Duncan. And I've got a thick jumper on, a t-shirt under here, and a coat.
Okay. That's interesting.
Is it time for a tea cake yet? Do we know what time it is?
No, we've still got 25 minutes.
Are we doing the sentence game?
Well, clearly not. Clearly we're not doing the sentence game today because this is the final day of February. We've done a month of live streams every day. I've been here every day. My voice has almost been destroyed. So, yeah, that's what's happening.
I often get asked about this hat.
Oh, Mr. Steve's lovely hat.
And the slack one.
Oh, okay.
We won't ask which part of you's slack.
Oh, okay, Steve.
Just joking. I'm joking.
Yes.
Calm down.
Welcome
Just
to... Yes, okay, Steve.
I love your hat. What's it called? Yes, what's it called? I can't remember now. A Tilly hat.
It is Tilly.
Tilly.
T-I-L-L-E.
T-I-L-L-E-Y. And I bought it in this country, but they're actually Canadian, I believe.
Yes.
They're very good quality hats, and they last a lifetime.
Yes. And we don't get paid for promoting them. So all of that was a waste of time for us.
But that's what it's called, Tilly.
I don't like free promotions anymore.
I thought lots of people would be asking where this beach is in France that Lewis has been to.
Yes.
Because obviously next time we go, we may just sort of accidentally wander onto this beach.
During the 1970s, by the way, during football matches, there was a big trend for people to run across the football pitch naked.
Yes.
They would often just tear their clothes off, and while the football match was playing, the person would run across the field on TV naked. And they are called streakers. A person who streaks is a person who suddenly decides to run around naked.
Yes, that was very popular, wasn't it?
Shall I do it now?
They used to do it in cricket matches as well.
Okay, let's do it now.
It's a bit cold.
Oh, no.
You might get significant shrinkage in certain parts of your anatomy if you take your clothes off in
Steve,
this cold weather.
That's good.
I'm not going to say what parts.
No. I think you have, though. Really.
Yes, and I can still see it now. There was one. We used to get it at cricket matches as well. And there was one particular streaker.
Okay.
Who sort of did a jump over the stumps.
Yes.
What do you call it when you sort of like you're going over what's that sport in the Olympics? Well, where hurdles, like he was hurdling
Okay, this is good.
over the full frontal. Yeah,
Full frontal.
might explain a lot.
He caught the bales.
But the camera never used to. The camera always stayed on the naked streaker.
Well, of course, it's interesting.
You'd think the cameras would pan up somewhere.
There's a very famous photograph from the 1970s of a policeman covering a streaker with his helmet. He's got his policeman's helmet
And he's covering.
the naked guy's policeman's helmet. It's too late now. Steve said vagina and penis.
Mr. Duncan, that's disgusting.
You said it.
This is the last live stream, and we've just resorted to filth.
It's too late. Steve said it already. I might as well say
It's
it.
an English word. People have got to know
They
what
are.
it means.
I think it's Latin.
Free Tech says, "What is the live streaming time every day?"
Every day.
Well, it has been every day.
It isn't.
It has. Well, no, don't say that because we want Free Tech to come back.
Yes, but there's no point coming back tomorrow because I'm not here.
Well, that's it. Well, it's not tomorrow, but will you be on Wednesday?
No.
No.
I've explained it next to you earlier.
Thought you'd go back to Wednesday.
Well, I don't think Steve listens to anything I say.
I do.
I'm having a short break, so I'm not. I'm going to be.
What's that? 2 days, a week?
Well, I'm back next Sunday.
So nothing next week. You're not on at all.
No, I'm having a. Oh my God! Which part of having a break?
Well, you didn't say what the break was. I
don't-
just assumed you'd be back
You don't
on
have a
Wednesday.
break for a day. Who has a break for a day? No one.
Free Tech, while you wait for Mr. Duncan to come on again, then there are hundreds and hundreds of videos
Yes. Anyway, I'm going
that
to
you
say,
can watch.
I'm going to give you the time when I'm on. That's the most.
I'm just... Go on then.
2 p.m. UK time. So any time that I'm on, they always start at the same time. 2 p.m. UK time. So I will be on Sunday, but I'm taking a little break because I've really destroyed my voice. I don't know if you heard earlier when I was in the studio, my voice sounded like it was broken glass. So I need to repair my voice before I start talking again and again. I have to give it a rest.
Well, shall I carry on? If I wasn't working, I would do a live stream every day
Yes.
for you.
But you are working.
I am working for the moment. Indrajit. I'm Indrajit. Say my name. Isn't that a song? Say my name, say my name. Isn't that like a rap song? Have I pronounced that correctly?
Indrajit.
Indrajit.
Indrajit. Or
Indrajit.
Motivational speech. Motivation speech. Hello. Even I can't say it now. Indrajit. Is that okay? Did I
I
pronounce
think
it?
it's Indrajit.
Indrajit or Indrajit.
Who is correct? Me, Mr. Steve, or this person who's getting very cold, Mr. Duncan?
I am freezing.
Tomrick says, have a rest and stay away from TV after 9 p.m. Good idea.
Yes. I'm definitely staying away from everything. I'm keeping my clothes on. I won't be changing my clothes ever again. I'm going to stay in my clothes. I'm never going to expose any part of my body ever again to anyone.
Ah, right, that's a Bengali name. Indrajit, yes. Have we pronounced it correctly, is what we want to know. Belarusia wants you to recover your voice very quickly.
Me too.
Yes, Sandre says, why is it that I can't understand everything that Mr. Duncan says, but when I watch English movies, I won't be able to make the most of it unless I read subtitles?
You
Yes.
can understand what I'm saying when I'm talking. I think I mentioned this earlier. I'm sure I answered this earlier in the live stream. So people speak at different speeds. Maybe if you are watching movies are designed for a certain type of audience. They want action and excitement. Everything has to keep moving. But in normal everyday life, people talk at different speeds and in different ways. So I'm clear because I teach English. If you talk about the English language, you have to make sure that people can understand what you're saying, or else there's no point. It's a bit like teaching someone to drive a car, but you don't know how to drive. Or maybe you are a terrible driver. So there is no point. If you're teaching someone, you have to have a certain level or a certain clarity, which is what I prefer to do. But also in my normal life, this is how I normally talk. I don't talk any slower or any faster. This is how I normally speak. So yes, everyone has different ways of speaking.
Scottish accent, says Vittoria. Yes, that is a difficult accent to understand. Even English people find that difficult to understand.
Yes.
There are different Scottish accents, and some are more difficult to understand than others.
Yes. Quite often it's the speed, again, the speed. So you can have the pronunciation or the accent, but also quite often if the thing being said is being said quickly or fast.
Lewis is giving us more details about his accidental visit to the nudist beach.
We don't read that. Please, Steve. If you want to read Lewis's comment, it is at time code. Oh, I haven't got the.
We can see it.
I haven't got the time. No,
1544.
1544.
You need glasses, Mr.
Well,
Duncan.
that's not the time. No, that's not the time on the live stream. Though that's the time on the clock. But yes, Lewis is asking a question or talking about the nudist beach, but we can't repeat what is said. But it is in the live chat, so you can have a look at what he said. But I'm not going to repeat it. I'm not saying anything about that.
Well, exactly. If you're...
I can't say that. I'm sorry, Lewis, but I can't read that out.
Well observed.
But thank you.
She looked like a goat. There's nothing more we can say about that. We all want to know where that beach is, Lewis.
You know, when I lose my YouTube channel, when it's gone, they take it off me. Steve is going to have to take care of me. You're going to have to look after me. I'm going to have to become a kept man.
You mean financially?
Well, anything, everything. Because I'll be so depressed. I'll be on top of the roof, threatening to jump off if I lose my YouTube channel. And I'm not joking.
Now, the Scottish accent, yes, it's difficult to say what it is that is common, that is difficult to understand. You just have to listen to it yourself.
Yes.
But it's just a very, very strong accent, and things are pronounced in a very different way.
Yes. There might be words that are used as well. In certain dialects or certain accents, you will find there might be sometimes different words used as well. So it can be...
There'll be certain vowels that will be pronounced differently than standard English.
Yes.
And of course, somebody's pointed out about Ivars. What about the Birmingham accent?
Yes, let's not...
We're not going to do it.
We're not going to poke or make fun of anyone else's accents. But yes, the Birmingham accent has a certain sound. It's a little slower. So the pace of the speech tends to be a little slower. But yes, Birmingham accent. There are accents all over the country. You go north, you might hear a Liverpool accent, Manchester accent, and then you go further north and you might hear a Scottish accent. So as you travel around the UK, you will hear lots of different types of accent.
Right, yes. There is a trick to understanding the Scottish accent, says Mr. Bruno. Have a whiskey, and then it gets easier to understand.
Okay.
Well, I would very much welcome the chance to enjoy a whiskey with a Scottish person. Yes. Oh, that's what caused. That of course
what does that mean?
I don't know.
I would welcome.
Well, the chance, now to come out of lockdown.
You would welcome. Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So really,
yes.
you would welcome the chance to have a drink with anyone.
We need to go to Scotland. It's such a beautiful place.
Yes.
and I haven't been for years. I mean, it's a long way. We've got a lot of driving to do to get there, but it'll probably take us 4 or 5 hours to get to the Scottish border.
Sorry,
from
can
where we
I
are.
just stop you? I want to know what that is. I want to know what that noise is. It's really...
Well, I should pretend. Let's assume they're doing it deliberately to annoy you, Mr. Duncan. So don't draw attention to it. And,
Why?
And then
Why are they?
Yeah.
What? As soon as we come out here, it's been quiet
Well,
all day.
oh, yeah.
I know it annoys me, and you probably can't even hear the noise. But it isn't about you hearing it. It's that I can hear it when I'm here, and it's very distracting. So Steve always misunderstands when I get annoyed about the noise. It isn't about the viewer. It's actually about me concentrating on what I'm doing, because that noise has been going on all the time, and it's very distracting for me.
Free Tech wants to know where that beach is. Come on, Lewis. We want coordinates.
Just use the internet.
We want coordinates. We just thought any French beach is
Just-
a nudist beach.
just
We
type.
might be wrong.
Just go to googleboogle.com and then put nudist beach south of France. There you go. It's the internet. You can find anything on the internet.
Where is your red pen, says Olga. Yes. Well, the red pen is inside.
Okay.
I did want to go and get the red pen and use it, but Mr. Duncan was in there at the time, so I brought out a different pen instead. This one has a little nipple on the end. Can I say that word, Mr. Duncan? It has a little nipple on the end, which can be used, used on sort of touch screens
Oh, okay.
and things like that. It was given to me by, if you're interested, by a customer of mine. Which is very rare to be given anything by a customer, but they gave me this lovely pen. So,
Okay.
could I use it on here? What would happen if I sort of... There we go. Yes, it works.
Yeah.
Do you have nudist beaches in Scotland?
Scotland? My God, I think it's too cold.
Be very brave.
Who is going to be nude or naked in Scotland? Even during the summer, it can be quite cold up there.
Right, it's Mr. Bruno. Do you go onto naked beaches in Scotland? We
Anyway,
want to know.
we've been told off for talking about this subject because we do have young people watching, apparently. So it was Steve's fault. He started this
Apologies.
with his talking
Apologies.
about lady parts, and then the pigeons. We had the pigeons behind us making sweet love.
What are you going to measure with this, Mr. Duncan?
Nothing.
Why is it here then?
I was using it as a paperweight. I was putting it on top of my paper to stop it from blowing away. So I'm not using it to measure anything. I'm not going to measure anything today. This is my heavy object.
Imagine
for-
if you took that tape measure with you onto a nudist beach.
Okay.
What could you be measuring
I don't know.
with that, Mr. Duncan?
What?
Go up to people sort of lying down naked.
You don't seem
with
to
a
have
tape measure.
You don't seem to have any filter, do you?
Filter.
You have no filter. I'm sure you might be on the spectrum somewhere. I'm not sure where, but you are somewhere.
Well,
Zudzika says...
Intelligent will be able to tell me whether
Zut-
she thinks I'm psychologically stable or not.
Okay, then.
Go on. Zudzika something.
Zudzika says you could use it as a walkie-talkie. Oh, yes, I used to do this as a child. I used to pretend that this was like a radio. I used to say, hello, Oscar 1 to Oscar 2, over. I read you loud and clear, over.
Please turn that racket off.
Hello, neighbours next door, can you please stop that noise?
Tomex knows a lot about sort of politics going on in the UK.
Over.
The former leader of the Scottish National Party might be found naked somewhere in this country. Yes, there are rumours, but we won't go into that.
I don't know who you mean.
Alex Salmond.
Oh,
isn't it,
okay.
is his
Yeah,
name there.
Steve said that, by the way, not me. So
Yes.
please, if the solicitors or lawyers are watching, send the writ to Mr. Steve?
Well, there were no charges brought. Well, there were charges brought, but I think they got thrown. It was not guilty. But we're not going to go into that because we don't know enough about it. Oh, Lewis, there we go. We've got it. It's between Pornick and
Pornick? of all the words, of all the places that you could have nudists, a place called Pornick.
very close to another
Yes,
word.
I think people understand, Steve.
And Prefales.
Yes.
Prefales, have I pronounced that correctly? Just on the border of two parishes, yes. Oh, well.
Pornick. That is a great name, by the way, for a place, Pornick.
We might find ourselves there one day. But by the sounds of it, you're not getting sort of young, attractive people going there.
No.
From what Lewis was saying earlier. Anything, do you want to sort of sneak some proper English in before the top of the hour? As we say, the top of the hour.
You know, it's like just random things come out of Mr.
When
Steve.
you say the top of the hour,
Okay.
you mean that we're coming up to 4 o'clock,
Yes. Well, it's the end of the hour and the beginning of the hour. So it's
where the hands are at the top.
so. For example, it is now coming up to 4 o'clock here in the UK. So 4 o'clock is coming. It's almost the top of the hour.
So if it was coming up to 2 o'clock, you could also say it's coming up to the top of the hour. Or 1 o'clock, if it's 2 minutes to the top of the hour, etc. You always say that.
Yes.
I'm sad because February is ending, says Belarus.
Don't be sad. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to have a little break to rest my voice, and then I will be back. We will be back next Sunday. It will be March next Sunday. We're into March, a new month. Spring is coming. Everything is fine. Everyone's getting vaccines. We're all getting vaccinated. Mr. Steve will be having his soon because he's now officially old.
I haven't been called yet.
No, you will. You'll get the call.
Acquitted, there's a good word that Tomek has put into there.
Yes.
Yes, if you are on trial for something and you are found not guilty, another word for that is you have been acquitted.
Yes. Or if of course the charges are just dropped as well.
Yes.
So if you are charged with something, you are accused of something, then if those accusations are dropped, we can say that you are acquitted. So you will not be charged. You will not go to prison for the things that you did not do.
You are not guilty.
Okay.
It has been beautiful to be here with you all during this month, says Zuzika. And, well, it's been, I haven't been here every day. I've only been coming on Sunday. Mm-hmm. But have you enjoyed it, Mr. Duncan?
Yes, it's been busy. I've been doing this every day for the whole of the month. And it's been fun. Getting up every day to do this has been good fun. I think today it's been unusual because we've been inside and outside, and of course we had the pigeons making sweet love behind us, and that kind of set the tone for today's live stream. I think once they started doing it, that's it. The whole live stream just fell to pieces. However, yes. I hope you enjoyed it. We are here to help you with your English. I've enjoyed the month of February. It's been really good, and I hope you've enjoyed it as well.
And Mr. Duncan is not here on Wednesday.
No.
You're taking a week's break.
I'm having a little rest. I've got to get my voice working again. It's bad today.
And then come up with some new ideas for the live streams in March.
Well, I don't know about that.
You've got to give your audience, your viewers, your attention and teach them all English.
Yes, well, that's what I've been doing for 15 years.
That's true. The best part of this video is the birds kissing.
I think so. I think so.
I think we will look back on this lesson and we will all agree that the best part of the lesson was the pigeons on
Yes.
the fence.
Yes. Well, we are now going into the house.
If I'd been standing slightly further over, you never would have seen the pigeons.
No.
They would have been blocked completely.
Well, because you are quite short, you could still see them.
Do you want me to go inside and
It will
put the
just
kettle on?
it will just look as if they're making love on your hat.
You shouldn't use the word "making love" for pigeons. I don't think that's an appropriate phrase.
I
to
think
use.
it's lovely when you see animals, they're kissing and cuddling, and then sometimes they get very excited.
Yes. Thanks a million, says Tomek. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed it.
And Intelligent says, Intelligent, that's a good name. Thank you very much. And dear friends and all the other dear friends on the live chat.
Yes.
And Liz says, thank you very much for your achievement. And I hope 22nd March live stream. No, it's next Sunday.
Yes, next Sunday. Well, next Sunday is the first week, so it will be the 7th.
My hands are seizing up with the cold. Look at that, they've gone purple, my nail beds.
So I will be back with you. I must make sure I get this across clearly. I will be back with you next Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time. It will be the 7th of March is when I'm on again. I'm going to take a break. We are going into the house now. We have a cup of tea. We have a hot cross bun. We also have some lovely fudge as well to eat later on. Mr. Steve is making his lovely lentil and potato pie. So everything is quite nice. We have an episode of Columbo to watch on television as well.
I might go into the garden. It's such a lovely afternoon.
Okay. Oh, so we're not doing that then.
Oh, well, maybe I will.
Okay.
Just to please you, Mr. Duncan.
Yeah.
Lovely to be here. Lovely to be here with you, Mr. Duncan. Lovely to share this wonderful afternoon with all of you. And I look forward to seeing you all again next Sunday. Take care and enjoy learning English.
Yes. Well, I'm going as well.
I know, but I usually go first.
No, I'm going now as well into the studio.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
I can't believe I had to explain that, but there you go. So I'm going into the studio now, and then we will say goodbye properly. Okay. Don't go away. Ooh, I have to say, it's much warmer in here. I do like the temperature in my studio. It's lovely and warm. Very nice. Yes, I'm back in the studio now. Don't worry, I'm back indoors in the studio. Oh, dear. Where am I? Here I am. I'm indoors, even though my hands have gone very cold. I am freezing cold at the moment. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. I hope it's been interesting. Yes, I have been with you for the past 28 days live. By the way, if you want to make a donation, because don't forget, this is a serious point that I'm making. Everything I do is for free. I've been doing this for free for the past 15 years. Believe it or not. I am the best kept secret on YouTube. So if you want to make a donation, you are more than welcome to send one, and there is my address underneath. Everything I do is free. It costs nothing. So all donations will be gladly received, and it will allow all of this to continue forever and ever and ever. Thank you very much for your company. I will see you later. I can't wait to replay this live stream, and you can do the same thing as well later on if you want to watch this again. Hopefully later there will be captions as well. See you later. I hope you've enjoyed the past 28 days of February. I've enjoyed it, and I hope you have as well. Thank you very much for your company over the past month. thank you very much to everyone for your lovely messages as well. It has been a very nice time indeed. And I will see you next Sunday. I'm having a little break. So I hope you understand that I need a little bit of time to rest my voice, and I'm hoping to get this better. I'm surprised that no one has said, "We know, Mr. Duncan, that you are probably going to do a surprise live stream." Yes. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Oh. Yes, you see. Sometimes I can be very naughty. Thank you for your company. Thank you very much for watching. It's been lovely. I've enjoyed today, and I'm going right now because Mr. Steve is making something to eat and also something to drink. This is Mr. Duncan, that's me, in the birthplace of English, saying thanks for watching. Thanks also to Mr. Steve for giving us some entertainment. Thank you also to everyone else on the live stream today. Thank you also, Mr. Bruno. Thank you very much. Mr. Bruno has sent a donation on the live chat. Thank you very much for that. That's very kind of you. Thank you, Valentin. Thank you, Luis Mendez. Thank you, Vitas. Thank you to everyone for your lovely messages and also your support over the past month. Thank you, and I hope this has been helpful. And for the final time, in February, for the last time, this is Mr. Duncan in England saying thanks for watching. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you have as well. And of course, until the next time we meet here, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Ta-ta for now.
You could get around a bit of it. Jump over the back there, Lewis. There's hardly any garden grass. No, you have to terrace it like ours. Yeah. You haven't got the side of yours. Yeah.